Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first Hancock County Coffee Talk for the year. Uh, I'm Ted Longo, I'm your host, and we're honored to have Ron Barnes with us at Coast Electric this morning. And our topic of the day is a new service, a relatively new service from Coast Electric called Coast Connect. And Ron, I have to confess, and I'm a Catholic, so I can do that. Look, I'd never heard of it until I got the notes for this talk. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Coast Connect?
Yeah, so thank you very much for having me this morning. Coast Connect is a subsidiary of Coast Electric. Coast Connect was formed to bring fiber internet service to the most rural areas of the three counties that we serve, which are Harrison, Hancock, and Pearl River. Probably the reason that you haven't heard a lot about it yet is because we have been primarily working in Pearl River County. That was the most unserved and underserved area of our service territory. So we started there. We are now in North Hancock County, and we're working our way south. So now it's time to get the word out about the incredible service that we can offer here to the places that are less rural in our service territory.
All right. Well, in preparing for this, I read your annual report from 2020. I think that's the latest one you have out, and y'all rolled this out in the fourth quarter of that year.
We did. It was part of, we had been studying doing broadband for a couple of years. And just to give you a little bit of a background information, we actually were not allowed to do anything other than electric service until 2019. 2019, the Mississippi legislature passed the Mississippi Broadband Enabling Act. That allowed cooperatives, if they so chose, to either start a subsidiary to do internet service, or we could work with a partner. So we were studying it. And then, of course, you know what happened in 2020, the pandemic comes along, and we realized that for telemedicine, for educational purposes, that if we didn't do this, then we were afraid it just wasn't going to get done in our most rural areas. So our board made the decision in June of 2020, really faster than we originally had expected to make that decision, to go ahead and do a pilot project. We were fortunate enough to get $6.1 million from the CARES Act funding to do that pilot project. We did it in our most rural areas of North Pearl River County. And obviously it took off like wildfire. The people, there was really a pent up need there. So after the CARES Act money got us started in August of 2020, we were actually connecting our first customers in November of 20. Probably what should have taken us about 9 to 10 months, we did in 4. But that was because the CARES Act required us to do that. And then we were off and running after that. The board gave us full approval to go ahead and start running these lines along our electric system, to bring fiber to the premise, which is either to the home or the business, throughout our 3-county service area.
All right, so somebody just dug up my front yard again in Diamond Head to put down some lines. Is that you or somebody else?
It could be us. We are putting in some lines in Diamond Head right now. I will say that it's never good when we have to go and dig underground into your yard, but our crews will make sure that it's put back to the way it was before or better. And but because we're a local company, and because we're headquartered right here in Hancock County, Mississippi, and because our people are local, we have to do a better job than anybody else of taking care of our customers and our members on the electric side. So we're committed to anything that we mess up, we make right.
Well, and if it was y'all, just know you did cut my cable wire, but you fixed it the same day.
Right? So there you go. That's right. That's right.
All right. And look, when you think about broadband service, you think about the big heavy-duty companies, AT&Ts and the Verizons. How are y'all competing against those so far? Is it working pretty well in that first year?
Yeah, it's a great question. Our primary competition here on the Gulf Coast for our product, which is fiber all the way to the home, in some cases will be AT&T, in some cases it will be C Spire, in other cases it will be cable companies. Again, we started in the most rural areas where people really didn't have much of a choice. There really was not true broadband in most of the areas that we started. And then now we are in areas where we're actually competing against the big incumbents. We will do well there. And I believe the reason we'll do well there is because we're local. And because when you call us, you're calling local people. You're not calling a massive conglomerate or a worldwide company. that their call center may be offshore. You're going to talk to local people when you talk to us.
So, again, reading the annual report, y'all did like 199,540,000 in revs that year, right? And 97.74% of that was customer revenue.
That's right.
What can broadband do for Coast Electric, and ultimately, what can it do for us as consumers of your products going forward?
So because of the way the Mississippi Broadband Enabling Act was structured, we had to set up a subsidiary or use a partner. And we did look at both. And then we decided to do our own subsidiary. So we have to keep all of the finances separated between the electric cooperative and Coast Connect, which is the broadband subsidiary.
So those numbers never touch.
So those numbers do not touch. Now, we do use a lot of labor from Coast Electric to help the startup of Coast Connect. But all of that time gets billed to Coast Connect. And in fact, we pay the same pole rental rates that we would charge any cable, any AT&T. We charge that same thing to our subsidiary, and they have to pay the electric cooperative. So in the end, this will actually be a financial benefit to the electric cooperative. And as you know, as a not-for-profit, any profits that we do make get turned around and sent right back to our customers in the form of capital credit retirements.
So you just mentioned you use some of the Coast Electric employees. Are y'all going to create new jobs from Coast Connect, or there's enough layover that you can make that work somehow?
We've actually created 7 new jobs already. 6 of those are fiber technicians. We actually have contractors that are doing all of the construction work because it takes literally an army of people, and you have to work so far in advance of where you're actually connecting customers. So we're already putting fiber into Harrison County. We won't be hooking up customers in Harrison County for another year. Okay. And people probably saw that in Hancock County as well. And in fact, we know they did because they're always asking, I see the fiber, when can I get the service? So there is a long lead time to get between connecting the customer to the internet and what we're actually putting the fiber out to their homes.
Okay, well, we're fortunate to have a little bit of money because I make some, and my wife Amy won't spend it. So when I told her I was doing this morning, she said, ask Ron how much this is going to cost compared to our competitor, because she's always looking for a better deal if it's a good service.
Okay, so we have 2 tiers of product for residential. We have a 100 megabit plan. It's symmetrical, which means same speeds upload and download, okay. And it's also no data caps. Okay. And it's fiber all the way into the premise, or into the home in this case. $55. Okay. Very competitive. If you want to go to the gigabit service, that's a 1 gig up and down. Again, no data cap, that's $85. And both of those include managed Wi-Fi. So we're able to actually, if you do have a problem at your home, we're able, through our call center, to be able to diagnose your issue all the way into your router and be able to tell you if we can fix it. And in most cases, we can fix it right over the phone. If not, we have a 1-day service promise to be out and fix your service within 1 day. And we feel like that differentiates us as well.
Okay, and look, I'm who I am. I can almost work my cell phone. So what's the difference in those 2 services? When you talk, you talk gigabytes and things. What's the difference in those 2 for most of us?
So if you'll think of it this way, 100 megabit service, you're going to be able to stream. You're going to have multiple people in your home can stream. Mm-hmm. With a gigabit service, you're now talking about 1,000 bytes of data. So you're now able to have multiple people streaming. You're able to run a business on that, a home-based business. So it's really about the pipe. If you think of internet service like a water pipe, the bigger the pipe, the more water you can push down it. And it's the same thing with fiber. What you're really pushing is light. So you're pushing light, and then the electronics determine on each end, both at the home and back at our substations where we have our huts. That determines how much your service is going to be. So really, it's just, if you'll think of it in terms of the bigger the number, the larger the pipe, which means the faster things are going to download, the faster things are going to upload. But you're getting unlimited data on both. And we have about 40% of our 7,000 customers that are currently taking the service. And that's in about a year and a half. About 40% of them are taking the gigabit service.
Okay, good. And obviously, we have a certain number of people in Hancock County. I wanted to ask you this, because nobody gets better information on the demographics of an area than the utility companies.
Yes.
I have heard some incredible numbers as far as projected growth for the 6 coastal county areas. And you work in 3 of those. What do y'all hear about the growth as far as what's going on here? Because it's amazing to me the people who are moving from out of state, places like Illinois and Washington State and California, and it's just amazing. So what do y'all hear?
I think instead of giving you, statistics, let me tell you about some actual things that are going on. I go out once a month with our crews. And hey, I would love to tell you I go out and work with them, but they don't want me working on the power line. So I go out and I actually watch them work, for a lack of a better term, but I visit with our people.
Okay.
I'm amazed at how fast we're growing and have been growing for 2 years now. In January, we had the best January we've had in the last 20 years in terms of net new accounts for Coastal Electric. We're growing about 5% in some of our locations, which is extremely fast. Overall, we're growing about 1.5%. I'm shocked when I go into these neighborhoods where our people are putting in underground power. And I always try to talk to the builders, the contractors that are there. And they tell me right in Diamond Heads, last month when I was out there, they said almost everybody in this neighborhood is coming from California. So it's making your point that we do have, we call this the secret coast. And it's absolutely true. It's undiscovered, the beauty, the resources. People have a lot of people around the country have a negative view of Mississippi because they've never been here. And when they come here, they realize it's a place that's, the land is cheaper, the cost of living is cheaper, the amenities are better, the quality of life is better, the crime is lower. Where else would you rather live? And we believe that we're going to have a barrier to entrance of this market without true high-speed internet. And that's really the biggest reason we're doing it. It's not for the subsidiary. It's really for the electric company. Because when the electric company has fiber to every premise, we can now offer so much more, and we can now actually market our market better.
Okay, good deal. Well, Ron, is there anything else you want to tell us about Coast Connect today?
Yeah, we have a sign-up event, so we're going to try to get that word out about Coast Connect to all the people in Hancock County that haven't heard of us yet. That's coming up on April 29th. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to be at the Pearl River Community College, Hancock location, which is over on Highway 90, over close to Walmart. We're going to have our service set up there so you can come and test it for yourself. You can see that if you're on a substandard service, the difference between that service and what you can upload and download files with fiber.
Okay.
We're going to have experts on hand. We're going to have people that can sign you up. And then we hope to be offering service to what we would call our Turner Street area, along Bay St. Louis, on Highway 90 and Waveland, and all the way down to Ansley, with really pretty much throughout the rest of the year. We'll be down this way.
Well, I'll let Amy know, April 29th, right?
April 29th, and we would look forward to lots of people coming out and visiting with us. Come out and test the product for yourself.
Sounds good. Well, look, everybody, we want to thank you for joining us this morning, and look, again, come out and check them out on April 29th. We appreciate y'all for filling in, and please always support Hancock County. Thank you.
Thank you.